Hey YouTube, it's Carla or Changing56, and I know it has been forever since I made a video, but today is Saturday, November the 28th, 2015, and it's Iron Bowl Day. Roll Tide, it's halftime. That's why I'm coming to you. I kind of have to occupy myself during halftime. I watched the first half. Alabama's leading. Let's hope it continues that way. I don't know. It's been probably at least 6 weeks since I made a video. I went to the beach, and I think I promised you, well, it's been 2 months then since I made a video. I think I promised you a video from the beach, and I didn't get that done. I had an amazing time at the beach. It was absolutely wonderful. Just working hard. I'm selling my 31 and I'm doing my caregiving. We had a great Thanksgiving. I cooked for the family, and if you're my friend on Facebook, you saw the food and you saw the table, and I'm in my element when I'm doing that. I love the decorating and I love cooking. So, you know, that's pretty much what I'm doing. It keeps me busy. Now, let's talk about weight loss surgery a few minutes. I don't really want to make this a really long video, but some of you, I do have some new subscribers, and some of you, you know, that's why you watch. I had surgery 2.5 years ago almost, June the 18th, 2012. I weighed on that day I weighed 193, but 6 months earlier when I started, I weighed 221 recorded, probably about 235 unrecorded. So the lowest weight I've ever seen was 113. And regain is real. That's the one thing I want to talk about. And you know, the thing is, the doctors don't really tell you about regain. They expect the regain, but they don't share that with you. So when you do have it, you know, it's some people know why. I kind of know why, but I was shocked because I had done so well for so long. Now, I will agree, I needed to gain some weight, 113. Excuse me, 113 on a 59-year-old woman. It's not really great. I did not look good at 113. I loved it, but I know now when I look back and see pictures, and I see pictures now, that I'm better where I am right now. And everybody's been telling me that. At the point I started gaining probably a little after 2 years, or well, yeah, 2.5, let's say 2.5 years. And a few things happened to do that. I've got a wrist problem, and I'll explain that. But last year in February, they put a steroid shot in, and I gained weight immediately, and it totally messed up my sugar. So, and then I kind of just continued a few pounds. So basically regained 20 pounds. So, you know, because 113 was, even though that was my lowest, where I stayed the most for 2 years was 118 to 120. So I've gained 20 pounds. I stay now between 135 and 140. Good weight for me. I would like to lose 10 pounds. It may happen, it may not. What I do need to do is, I have let some carbs in, and I need to get rid of those, and I need to exercise. It's just as simple as that. And, you know, I got to be honest about it. But the weight came on without those things, because when the weight came on, it was simply the steroids. It was not what I was eating, because I was not eating bad things. Now, Thanksgiving, I ate sweet potato pie that I made. I loved it, but I dumped really big. So that keeps me honest. It really does, because it's not worth it, as sick as I was after I ate it. It tasted great, but it wasn't worth it. So that's where I am at my weight. This morning I weighed 138. After Thanksgiving, you know, I'm good with that. And you know, if you had asked me 3 3.5 years ago what my goal was, I would have told you I had hoped I would get to 130, but would be happy with 150. I never dreamed I would lose as much weight as I did, so I'm still within my goal range. So I'm good. The only problem, I've had to buy some new clothes because, I carry all my weight right here. So jeans do not fit that used to fit. But, shirt-wise, I'm still good. I've had to buy new jeans, and there are a few other things that don't fit, but that's okay. Y'all know me. I should do, for Connie and Rosemary, I should do a thrift haul, and I'll if I do that, I'll do a separate video because I bought some really neat things at the thrift. But I went shopping today, and it was not at the thrift, and I spent too much money, but we won't even go there. So it is halftime of the game. Now let's talk about my wrist. I'm so sorry. This started this time last year, and what they thought I had was what's called a TFCC tear, and they also know that I have a ulna negative variance. Your wrist, the bones in your wrist, your hand, should be like this. Mine are like this. Okay, so that causes problems too. So the only way to really know what's in there to see the tear is what's called an arthrogram MRI. Long story short, they did 2 last year. They could not get in. They have to go in. You can see where mine's bruised from this week. They have to go in between the bones, and they try to put fluid in there for a contrast with the MRI. They cannot get in there. They said they've never seen a smaller space between bones. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. There's arthritis in there, and there's a lot of scar tissue. As to my knowledge, I've never done anything to that wrist. This one I've broken twice. This one I have not. But they said there's tons of scar tissue, there's arthritis, there's the ulna negative variance. And my doctor said, when I went to see him again 2 weeks ago, he said, we put a shot in. Did that work? I said, yes, it helped the pain, but I'm a diabetic. It shot my sugar through the roof, and I gained 10 pounds. He said, well, one, I don't want to just blindly put another shot in there not knowing really what's wrong with it. I want to find out, and the only way to do it is to do that arthrogram MRI. He said, I want Dr. Nicholson to do it. I said, he did the second one last year, and he couldn't get in either. He said, well, let's try again. So this time, because I know what's happening, they do lidocaine, and you don't feel it, but you know they're digging in your arm. So I called my primary care physician's nurse, and I said, Paulette, please, I need something. She said, what? I said, I've got to have another one of those arthrogram MRIs. She said, oh no. I said, I need some Xanax. She said, certainly. So she said, take one the night before, take one an hour before, and if you feel like you need one in the middle of it, take one. So I did that. And, I was kind of out of it, and I left there under the assumption that they had gotten in. I went to see Dr. Doolin the next day, and he said, well, Dr. Nicholson and I just spent our lunch together talking about you. He did get the needle in there, but he could not get any fluid in there. So therefore the MRI was still not with contrast, and they still do not know if there's a tear. So he's not really washed his hands of it, he said, but I really don't work with wrist. The best guy's in Birmingham. He is a hand wrist specialist, so I will send you down there. So I'm waiting. I go December the 8th. I'm in a tremendous amount of pain. Not only do I have the pain here, but now where he forced all the pressure trying to get in, everything hurts. It hurts up and down this side. It hurts this side. It hurts all the way across. It hurts. So I tried some pain meds. I've tried 2 different things. Neither one worked. And at gastric bypass, no NSAIDs, no anti-inflammatories, so there's not a lot that really works. And what I did take made me loopy and very unsteady, but did not take away the pain. And I only would take them at night anyway because I can't work with that. So long story short, for a whole week I've basically had no sleep. So last night I said forget the pain. I still had some Xanax. I said I'm taking a Xanax. I took one at 8 o'clock. I slept till almost 8 o'clock this morning. It was the best sleep I've had, and I didn't know if it hurt or not, so it didn't matter. But that's where I am with my wrist. I'm going to see if I have a TFCC tear in my wrist. If I do have that, I will need surgery. If I don't have that, it's possible to go in and scope it and clean it out, debride it, clean it out like you would a shoulder or a knee, because the scar tissue and the arthritis and all that. So there basically could be two things, and there may be other options. I don't know what the doctor will say. Okay, I'm at 10 minutes. I really wasn't going to do this long, but anyway, like I said, I'm working my couples. Sometimes it's really hard to see two people with memory issues, one with true Alzheimer's and one with just very, very, very severe memory issues. It's hard, and it's hard for their children to watch. So that's where I am. So whatever I can do to make them happy, that's what I do. They loved Thanksgiving. They loved everything I did. And, you know, that's why I do it. And people ask me all the time, why are you doing what you do? How do you? I said, well, I taught special ed for 30 years, and this is really the same thing. They're just older. They're just older. They just need some love and care, because at this point in their life, anything that can make them smile is a good thing. So that's my update. I'm going to make it, I think I'm going to make it under 12 minutes. So I'm going now. I'm going to watch the second half of the game. And all I can say is roll tide. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I promise I'm going to try to do more updates because it helps me. It helps me to make videos. So Connie, Rosemary, here's the video. Love y'all. Bye.